Miles from the city, in a quiet village, lived a boy named Eli. His shoes were torn, his clothes were thin, and every morning he walked to school under the warm sun. People passed by and hardly noticed him, but Eli carried a small, bright thing inside a dream. He dreamed of colors, wide skies, and pictures that would make people stop and smile. Even with dust on his feet, he believed in that quiet light. At night, by a single candle, Eli drew on old scraps of paper. He had broken pencils and rough edges, but his lines were gentle and true. He drew mountains that reached for stars and faces that learned how to laugh again. His mother would watch and whisper, "Your drawings bring us light." Eli would touch the page and say, "One day, Mama, one day they will see." At school, some children laughed and called him the barefoot artist. They pointed and teased, but Eli never answered with anger. He kept his promise to himself. He would not stop making art because their words were small. While others chased games, he chased lines, colors, and patient practice. He learned that steady hope can outlast 1,000 jeers. One hot afternoon, an old painter sat by the roadside and watched Eli draw. The painter looked closely at the sketches and his eyes softened. "You have something honest," he said. "Keep drawing. Dreams only fade when we stop." Then he left, and later a small package appeared at Eli's door. Inside were colored pencils and a note, "For the boy who dreams big." Eli held the pencils like sunlight. That night his sketches grew bolder. Colors warmed the tiny room. He drew with a new courage, not for fame, but because his heart had been seen. Each stroke became a promise. He would keep going, step by step, breath by breath. Years moved gently. Eli grew and sold small drawings at the market to help his mother. People stopped to stare, not in mockery now, but in wonder. One visitor from the city asked to see more and then said quietly, "Your work should be shown." Eli felt the ground tilt in a good way. The dream he had held in the dark was walking toward the light. Months later, his art hung in a small gallery. He returned home with his first paycheck and placed new shoes at his mother's feet. She cried softly and smiled. "My son, you kept your promise." Eli hung a painting above their door, a small house under a wide, starry sky, and named it simply "The Poor Boy's Dream." He learned this truth: dreams do not belong to the richest. They belong to the stubborn-hearted who never give up.